of the things that Americans are focused on, of course, is inflation. And I'm wondering, first of all, on that front, what you think of Jay Powell's leadership at the Federal Reserve.
Well, I think Jay
I think
Powell
Jay.
should be replaced at the end of his term. Um, Look, it's um, and I also think more than just personnel, Ramesh. It was a decade ago that I authored legislation that would end what's called the dual mandate at the Federal Reserve. Somewhere along the way, decades ago, we looked at the Federal Reserve and we said, we don't want you just to protect the integrity of the dollar. We also want you to promote policies that will encourage full employment. And so it's this dual mandate, I think, has resulted in the kind of policies that we saw back. Not to be too granular, but we saw back in the days of quantitative easing, right? We essentially had free money out there for years. We saw the Wall Street collapse and the Wall Street bailout that followed that I vigorously opposed. And so I think our monetary policy would do well to get back to the kind of philosophy manifested in people like Judy Shelton, who I strongly supported for appointment to the Federal Reserve, and people that believe in the free market. But also, if I'm president of the United States, I'm going to go to the Congress and say, we're going to end the dual mandate. Look, I think we ought to look to presidents, to senators, to congressmen, to governors, and local elected leaders when we're demanding full employment. I mean, that part of it is I think it's antithetical to this to the democratic process in our country that we one administration after another tends to have to stand outside the Federal Reserve, hat in hand, and hope that they pursue policies and interest rates that'll get Americans working. That ought to be the job of the President of the United States and the Congress, and we can hold them all accountable for that. While we hold the Federal Reserve accountable for protecting what's in our wallets, and at a time that we see the BRICS countries, trying to do their level best to introduce a new reserve currency on the world stage, now more than ever, we need solid decisions at the Federal Reserve that will protect the American dollar. And personnel and policy changes, I think, are the pathway forward.